give her things to do.
Get your bids off.
I can't see the camera.
It can see you though. Never forget that. By yourself.
Call this meeting to order. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Burton,
Present?
Vice President Dover,
Present.
Commissioner Scholar,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present?
Commissioner LaSanti,
Present.
Solicitor Stone,
Here.
Manager Patterson. Here.
First item is we need a motion to approve the minutes of the workshop meeting of January 12th, 2015.
I move to approve the minutes of the workshop meeting of January 12th, 2015.
Second?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Reports, public safety.
For the chief this month, for December, we had 6 alarms for the residents. I'm sorry, 4 alarms for residents, 6 for business, 1 mental health issue, 1 suspicious circumstance, 17 medical emergencies, assist the ambulance, 1 civil dispute, 1 dog complaint, 1 stray animal, dog bite, stray animal, an injured one, assisted a motorist on 1 occasion, had somebody just call up to report some information to the police on 1 occasion, a couple 911 hangups, 1 traffic citation and 15 traffic citations.
Okay, any questions?
Traffic citations, speeding?
Majority of them are speeding citations, just, they're watching a lot of red gate and things like that.
Okay, thank you. We'll accept that report. Fire department, hey. Good to see you, Bill.
See you guys. Happy New Year, everybody. All right, here we go. I'm going to pass out a list of the calls for 2014.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Sure.
Real quick, fire company responded to 114 calls for the year.
Wow.
45 in Sturkey Heights and 69 in Aleppo. First 3 pages kind of highlight a brief summary of the nature of the call. Tells you on the first column what district it was in, whether it was Sturkey Heights or Aleppo. First 3 pages, like I said, just detail the call information. The 4th page kind of breaks it down into what category the fire call consisted of, whether it was commercial, residential, vehicle accident, tree removal with live wires, assist EMS, natural gas leaks, seal alarms. The one item in here, assist other agencies, you see that number's a little high. That's when we go out of our district to assist other mutual aid fire companies. And typically for that, that's either fire related or something of that nature. Other emergencies, that classification is kind of open. We have it listed as broken water lines in basements, traffic details. We have 2 missing persons detail that we were called out for. That goes under other emergencies. 114 calls this year, was actually 113 last year, 2013. So we're actually down from the previous 2 years. One year I think we had 138, another one was 140 some. So the calls seem to be going down. You will notice on the breakdown, the bulk of our calls come from commercial fire alarms.
I mean, you started to say Masonic.
I mean, yeah, well,
That-
Sonic's included there, but also the industrial park.
Oh,
Is
okay.
Masonic in the commercial?
Yes.
Oh, that's confusing. Okay.
Yeah, they are commercial. They're listed under the alarm as a commercial structure.
They'd be glad to know they're commercial.
They'll raise the rates.
All right, I'll do that.
And you will see, I mean, I know the township does have an ordinance as far as citing the individuals for, they only have, the commercial gets 3 alarms. But the Masonic Village, they were doing an expansion on their Valley Care portion. And we did have a lot of alarms there, but we tend to work with them since, it was under construction. We understand, guys, cut their own wires whenever they're doing wiring. Dust, the amount of dust gets in the detectors, it does activate the alarms, we do respond. Some of these alarms, even though we did get dispatched, it was only myself that responded. We canceled all the equipment because I have a direct line with Masonic Security, so I know what's going on. If it's just a fire alarm and they're on scene saying construction worker set it off, I just respond myself. Because I'm here.
What does AFA stand for?
Automatic fire alarm. That comes directly from the county. There's no individual alarms that actually would call in. Those are all monitored by an alarm company. And once it's triggered, it automatically goes to our county dispatch center and notify. In a case like that, automatic fire alarm, it's typically the fire company and the police department.
So as far as the number goes, we're down a little bit, but how about the nature of the calls? Similar from 2013,
Pretty
2012?
similar,
Yeah.
as far as commercial. If you notice in, the end months there, the later months in 2014, the amount of calls we went to Struck for commercial went down. Just because they finished the construction project at Masonic, and the old panel that was there for years that we've had problems with is now gone. In fact, we had a little celebration in the party whenever it was ripped off the wall and destroyed.
Little by little.
But if anybody has any questions on any of the items, you can contact me later, we can go through, but that's just a summary. So far this year, slow start, which is nice. We've had 3 calls, 2 vehicle accidents, and 1 fire alarm.
How did you do with the fundraiser?
I can't answer the finances. We have 1 member who does all of our finances, and I'd have to get a report from him. I don't
I'm just
get
curious if he did.
involved in any of the finances, in financial statements, I should say. We kind of keep that, he keeps that to himself. The only one who really has access to any of the financial statements as far as fundraising or anything like that is our president and our treasurer. We don't put that out to our members.
Okay.
Well, the Santa on the truck was great. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
doing that.
the other guys did a good job.
It was really cute.
Yeah, it was fun. They only posted it for 2 hours, but they ended up being up for almost 5 hours.
Wow.
Just because everybody kept coming out.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of a schedule to be on this road at this time, but it got thrown out the window as soon as they started. So they're looking forward. We don't know the date yet, but we are scheduling an open house. I believe it's for April or May of this year, like we did last year. It'll be a little bit later in the year this time instead of March. It was a little cold for everyone to come out. But that and same thing for the Christmas. We'll do the same thing this year.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nice report.
Thank you.
All good
Thank you.
stuff, Joe.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Yes.
Thanks.
Emergency management.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna let- Valley and a couple other entities asked me to bring this up for discussion, and that is the quick response personnel that we're using in Aleppo. They would like you to, for lack of a better word, to express your need for them, or your backing for them. I know it's a sore point. Our department doesn't want them here. So they asked me to bring you the facts of what they're doing currently. Currently, the QRP vehicle in Swickley is licensed to respond for basic life support in all 52 communities of Valley Ambulance. They respond to both sides of the river, including Moon Township. They've been in Moon Township twice this year. Joanne, you should be familiar with the whole dispatch thing. They respond only in two situations. If it's a life-threatening situation that's determined by dispatch that having someone there before an ambulance can be there will make a life-changing issue such as the need for an AED, the need for bleeding control, large accidents, chest pain, et cetera. In other words, if I break my toe, you're not gonna get a quick response vehicle from Strictly. It's only, what they break it down to is it's calls that they would respond lights and sirens to. So it's Charlie or better calls. They are licensed, they do carry an AED. The response time to about 75% of Aleppo Township from where Strictly's trucks stage all make survival from particularly cardiac arrest very unlikely. Given that for every minute of delay in defibrillation, survival falls by 10%. You can do the math, 10 times 10. You're not going home from the hospital in 10 minutes. Valley can't put a truck in 75% of our township in 10 minutes, which is what they use them for. The only communities they don't respond to are Bell Acres and Fair Oaks, because Bell Acres and Fair Oaks have their own quick response vehicle. And there's no cost to the residents of the township for their response. The fact is that they are going to respond with or without your support, because it's simply the right thing to do for patient care. So, and the county will back them on that. They are coming into your township, and they will, because that is controlled by the authority and their dispatch, and they'll continue to dispatch them. And that continued animosity and even obstruction is at its best political and unacceptable, and at worst it is unethical and dangerous. Perhaps if the commissioners gave them a vote of support, making it clear that you support their response to patients in Aleppo, it would go a long way in eliminating the silliness that has detrimental effect on patient care and outcome.
It's a lot of indictments.
Well, no, they're being told that they're not to respond in Aleppo Township. They have a mandate by their dispatch to respond in Aleppo Township. It's been a long political battle. I don't pretend to know where it comes from, what it's about. I don't, as you all know, and I say regularly, I don't do politics. But they're concerned that this is the only township in their 52 square miles that they're told not to respond to, and they can't honor it.
Who told them not to respond?
The fire department. So when they do respond, they get hit with animosity, et cetera, et cetera. But they are going to continue to respond. Their thought is that if they have the backing of the commissioners of the township, that perhaps that will go some way to eliminating that whole kind of issue and the stuff that goes on at calls and the stuff that comments that get made back and forth, that there really isn't a place for an ambulance call, to be perfectly honest. So they're looking for your, certainly don't need your support, but they're certainly looking for your support. That's where we are. On another side, you guys might want to look at the EOP of the Masonic. I just went through it, and there are 8 different places that they rely on the township to supply things that I think you could, but I'm not sure you're aware that you've agreed or are being required to provide. One of which of those is Water Buffaloes. Their EOP says that they will come to the township for the supply of water to their patients. And I know for a fact, I don't know about the other ones, but I know for a fact that you guys aren't aware that you're doing that. So you might want to take a look at that and see what in fact people in the past have agreed to, or maybe not agreed to, but it's written in there. And take a look at what you're actually expected to do.
This is a formal document which would be filed where?
This is their emergency operations preparedness document that's filed with the county. We currently don't have one. We were prepared when we don't have a problem.
Bill, do you have it?
Just Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to add one thing. Through the authority, Aleppo Township Authority, in their emergency plan, it is the authority's responsibility to provide water. If there is a water problem in the district and we can't provide city water, the authority will supply Masonic with water. It's in our emergency plan.
Via trucks or?
Whether it's trucks, bottled water, whatever.
See, I know it's in there and I know it's your requirement, but I don't think any of you are aware that it is. And there's some other stuff in there that I know that you guys aren't aware
The authority, I know it's in the plan.
of. It absolutely is.
It's listed in, it's in our list in our emergency plan.
Uh,
Judy, is there do you have a summary of the 8 points?
I do.
And these are from the document.
Oh, no. This is the quick response thing. No, I did not summarize the EOP. I have it. I'm sure that Bill has it. And they all need to be in there, and they're all in there appropriately. But I know from talking to some of you guys that you have no idea what you're responsible for as far as your emergency operations plan. And we don't have one filed for Aleppo as of yet. But that definitely interfaces with the Masonic, and it interfaces with what Chief Davis already has in place. I'm just saying that putting that in place, you should probably be aware of the commitment that you're making as an authority in this township before you get a phone call from the Masonic that says, hey, you're supposed to supply this to us. They're all appropriate things, don't get me wrong, they all should be in there, but you guys need to be aware of what they are. Because you're signing off.
It's a
on
lengthy
Masonic.
document.
The Masonic EOP is a appendix, or will be whenever we file ours.
Yeah.
The Masonic's emergency operation plan is an appendix of your own.
And the entire document, what I'm getting to is if you've identified 8 obligations that you believe we have, that you believe we're unaware of,
Yes,
could you identify those 8?
yes, I can get them to you in writing. No, I
Good.
don't want to do it
Yeah,
verbally, but I can get you, really, some committee of this board really should review that emergency operations procedure, because Masonic's EOP is an appendix of your own, as is Chief Davis's. And to tell you the truth, for the last 13 years, it's been Chief Davis who's been carrying the emergency operations of the township, and doing it well. He has an EOP that works, and he's familiar with the Masonics that works, et cetera. But if it ever came down to it, all of what he is doing is an appendix of yours.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been kind of doing it because nobody's doing it on a broader scale.
Could you send me something?
I can drop off the whole thing. You can't send it. It's not this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get it to you.
when you helped us fill out all the forms, et cetera, we addressed some of the issues. But if you have zeroed in, that would be a good start. Because I think my name's on it a lot.
Well, actually, nobody's name's in because that's where it is.
Okay.
It's waiting to have
Okay,
all those names.
I
filled in
would
and
very
all those
much like to
contacts
review it.
and-
I'd very much like to review it, and then we can take it from there.
So
Gwen,
where,
do you have a copy of Masonic's EOP here?
I don't believe so. I don't believe I've seen it.
Do you have a copy of Chief's?
so where do we stand with ours?
Yours has been done, awaiting 2 things. The completion of all of the contact information that has to go in it before it's filed, and sending out a letter to all of your residents, doing a needs assessment. That's been done since 4.5 weeks after I started this. Your plan is done, but can't go anywhere. Nobody's done anything with it. I don't know what else to say.
Say that again. We're supposed to do what with it?
I wrote your plan.
Yeah.
I had it reviewed, and it's ready to go, except there are a whole bunch of blanks in there that I can't fill in. I need contact information for board members. I need contact information for officers. We need to send out a letter to all of your, don't look at me like that because I've said this 20 times. We need to send out a letter to all of the members of your township, all of your residents, to do a needs assessment, to find out where we have sick people on dialysis, where we have people that need oxygen, where we have people that need electricity, so that when we have a 2-foot snowstorm and Davis is deciding where to go to get people, that he has the ability to know that nobody on Merriman is in trouble, but heck, there's 6 people on such and such that need electricity because they're running oxygenators and they are both on peritoneal dialysis. And the only way to get that is to send that letter out and have the residents respond to it. And that has to be a part, the needs assessment has to be a part of that EOP before it's sent in.
Gwen, do you have that information?
I have the information on the letter. The last time George and I talked about it, there were some spots in more than just contact information. It was assigning different board members for different tasks. and that was still to be determined. So I'd be glad to meet again
Sounds
and
like we need
get it decided.
to revisit
Could you
this.
bring that up? Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay, afternoon.
Good.
I mean, the idea with the letter was just to throw it in the water bill or the sewer bill, and
Yeah.
now we have two going out, so we could put it in either one.
On the first item you mentioned, it sounds like that's a rather deep subject, and I think we should look into it, definitely.
Well, I mean, it's a deep subject for your discussion. It doesn't stop what's gonna happen. They are going to continue to
Okay,
respond.
but I'd like to know more background on this. Yes,
I'd like to rebut a couple of things. One is through the fire company. Me being the fire chief, we understand the importance of the QRS program. Believe me, it's needed, and it's a very good program. The problem that we had as an organization, the way the program was put together, one thing, it was never brought to Aleppo Township. This was all done behind closed doors with Crawford Hose Company, which is Swickley, with Valley Ambulance. It was brought to us as it was already put into effect that we were running calls in your district. Now, that kind of puts us in a bad situation because we already have some residents questioning, why is Swickley's vehicle in our district? And I'm the one who has to explain to them the purpose for it. The letter that you have that Judy just mentioned stems from the accident. We had the fatality over in the manor.
Oh, no, that's not that letter. I just
No,
mentioned.
it is because I know for a fact this because I told it was going to come up. I canceled 258 QRS on that call. I was first person on scene. I was on Glimmitcher Road when the call came in to the police. The police, everybody was out of position. Everybody knows that morning it was hectic out there. I mean, the police had, I don't know how many calls. Cars were tied
That
up.
was a good cancel, Bill. I watched you slide down the hill.
I responded. I was there, like I said, first one there from emergency responder standpoint. Went down, assessed it very quickly, and I went up and my vehicle was actually parked up by Judy's house at the top of it because I couldn't go any further. It actually spun out of control, and that's where I left it. I didn't want nobody else coming down the hill. So anyway, when I went down and assessed it, I came back up and I gave county an update. And then at that time, I heard Valley Ambulance dispatching 258. The dispatcher did not request the QRS. The person on the medic unit requested the QRS. I heard the call. I turned around and canceled it. Why would you put another unit out on the road when you have a code 0 patient? Why would you put another vehicle on the road in those conditions at risk hurting somebody else? I asked for the ambulance to go non-emergency, and at that time, the road department was there. They were salting Swickley Heights Drive and Swickley Ridge Drive, and then right after the plow truck went down the hill is when two police vehicles got there. And I was told that this is going to create a lot of problems. I don't care. I'll take the brunt of it, but in this case, I canceled them and they got pissed off.
That was a good dispatch. That was
And I don't
absolutely
care.
good. I was listening to the whole thing.
We have the problem with it because they're running in our district the manner that they went to. Just like Judy said, they're going to come no matter what you say. And to me, this is a problem with Valley Ambulance. Valley Ambulance is so short-staffed right now and cutting people. I'm on their frequency every single day. And it's always somebody outside agency is covering for Valley. Very, very seldomly do you hear Valley covering for another district. So, the way I look at it, they're coming back and they want more to come out of the fire company, which is fine. Our company is actually, we looked into it last year to do the QRS program.
Right, I
We
know that
wanted to
that
do it.
program was offered to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Originally, it was not, but our membership decided we were going to do it. Whenever the scheduling started, it was in everybody's, it was conflict and everybody's schedule. It was in the middle of the summer, towards the end of summer, early fall. Nobody could make it, so now we're going to look into rescheduling again this year to get our people certified.
And we have actually offered and to work with him to actually take it a step further and make his QRS advanced life support, because Mary Carolyn, the EMS coordinator, and myself can be at his response, working under him within 30 seconds. Obviously, you know where we live and you know where he is, so we can actually take his response vehicle to the ALS level, which Swickley isn't capable of doing. But currently, and the escalation of this did come out of that call. I'm not gonna lie. Chief got into it with the driver of the EMT on the ambulance, who
Because
happens to be a Swickley fire
He's
guy.
in charge of the QRS program at Swickley.
Right, and it was
And
a
this is-
totally inappropriate exchange with the chief at that scene. And
I
I told him that.
confronted him
One at a
face-to-face.
time, please.
Yeah, I confronted him face to face. Because my theory is, why would you put another emergency vehicle out on the road in those conditions when it's not needed?
I'm
This is
talking about
two-
the overall response. That response was absolutely correct. That was,
Two
That's
times now this has
absolutely-
happened, when we had a patient, well, one of our residents on Glenfield Road, that they dispatched Valley unit, an EMS unit, and I was actually on the phone with Valley's dispatch, telling them that we have a crew at our station and we can bring our ranger, because it was in an area, remote area, and just then, I heard him come back over, request 258. It was the same medic on that vehicle, on the EMS unit, and he was quickly fireman, and he requested their units other than ours for lift assist. And that's when I went to one of the supervisors again. It's like a common thing for me to go to either Jared Henry or one of the supervisors over there. Because, you know, we've always worked very well with Valley Ambulance. We've had a good relationship up until the QRS program started in the way that it was done. So, yeah, there is a problem. I'm not gonna let it get in the way of professionalism, but I am gonna voice our opinion on it. Until we get things worked out with our QRS program, and then I guess the problem will be solved. But there again, there's more from the volunteer fire company. Money's gonna be spent. We're gonna have to outfit the vehicle, make sure the vehicle's certified. That's more money that we have to do. And I feel personally, it should come from the Valley Ambulance. The townships and municipalities in this area are supporting Valley Ambulance. And if they're cutting it and cutting people and cutting units, then something needs to be done.
yeah, but currently today, do you agree that if someone is having a medical emergency, that Valley's closest truck is in Finley, and there's an AED in Swickley, that it should in fact respond, whether it be Aleppo Township, Swickley, Bell Acres, Fair Oaks, Boone Township, Coriolis, I don't care where it should be.
Without a doubt. That's gonna save somebody's life, they should be there. But for lift assist, like we had before, no. This particular call up here, I wanna know where the position of the ambulance was whenever that person dispatched 258, the old Concord Hose Company.
I can answer that. Chief. That was totally inappropriate, I agree with you. And that was who was driving the truck. That was the EMT driving the truck that was pushing your buttons. And I told him about it very loudly that morning.
And on that call, I've been in the department since 1986, I've been chief since 1998. I think I have a little bit of background, I'm not an EMT, I'm not a paramedic. But I think I know when somebody is
Yes, sir.
deceased. There was also one of the police officers there who was a paramedic. I believe 2 of their officers from Ohio Township are first responder qualified. How many more people do you need to say that this person is deceased? And we don't need any more people on the road.
Gwen,
I do apologize for that, you know, as a representative of Aleppo Township, but also I feel in the fire company, you know, we have a job to do and we have to present ourselves in a professional manner. And when stuff like this happens, you know, maybe it was wrong for me to confront him, but I know him on a personal level, not just an ambulance employee. I know him personally. So, yes, I confronted him face to face off to the side. It wasn't like there was a crowd of people and you knew it and we were back and forth. It was face to face.
I'm not sure I understand what we're being asked of here. I'm not sure. Are you here as our emergency management
It was
coordinator?
brought to me as your emergency manager.
You're not here as a representative of that?
Oh, God.
Okay.
I don't do politics, man. I don't.
No, but you're not here as a representative of the.
Hell no. I'm here as a representative of a township that has people that get sick, that if we can put somebody there sooner without conflict to help them, then that's what we need to do. If we have an issue that we have an ambulance service that is stepping on a fire department chief's toes or an entire fire department's toes, and our fire department can do part of the job that they're bringing another fire department in to do. I've been in EMS for 33 years. I understand the territorial whatevers. Then we need to work out with Valley Ambulance what is off limits and what isn't. And I agree that non-medical response in our township is, people that don't do EMS and fire don't understand this, but a non-medical response in our township by another company is a direct smack in the face to the fire department in our township. That to call somebody else to do a lift assist or to do a extrication out of a park or to do a whatever that our fire department is capable of doing is done as an insult. That's just fact. Nobody would ever deny that. But we need to come to some understanding of what we will allow them to do, what we want them to do, and what we won't. And I know just from a county standpoint, from a dispatch standpoint, it can't be, you can't come in here because they won't honor that. And mutual aid agreements, dispatch agreements, et cetera, are behind them. Nobody will
But
tell
that's
you.
not what he's saying, right? You're not saying to tell them we can't come in, they can't come in here.
They have been told they can't come in
No,
here.
I have never said that, and it's never come from our fire company. I will tell
Well,
whoever
you
that, that's
canceled
an outright
them,
lie.
told them not to come.
Well, he did that on, no,
One call.
he did that
And that
on
was
the
Saturday.
call in Swickley Heights Manor, taking the responsibility of an incoming crew's safety. And that is the officer in charge of a scene's responsibility, is the incoming safety of personnel. That's his job. If he would have let them come in there knowing that they weren't needed and they skidded down the hill and got killed, I would be here yelling at the fire chief who was in charge of the scene for not keeping on their safety. This has nothing to do with that call. That call went down as it should. And that was a direct smack in the face. I know the person that was driving that ambulance. He is in charge of the QRP situation in Swickley, and he did it pure and simple to piss Davis off. I mean, that was a push the button thing, and that's what happens in fire and EMS, and that's an old thing. What I'm here to say is that going forward, I have nothing, there was nothing wrong with that response and the way Davis handled that call. Absolutely nothing.
But
going
obviously,
forward-
they felt this whole thing, if they've never been told they can't come in, and they've not, you're saying, other than this one episode, yeah?
I have questioned why the response for lift assist, yes, I have talked to their supervisors for lift assist and stuff like that. But I, myself, and none of our officers have ever canceled 258's QRS.
They just
program.
feel like every time they come in, they get questioned why they're here. What are you doing here? What are you doing in our township?
It's kind of my job, though. I mean, I feel, I am the fire chief, and if there is a call that we've worked with Valley before,
Are they bringing in Cochrane hose?
correct.
But they're bringing it in as a medical response. Do you have an AED on your?
It's a specially trained team
In
out
that
of
fire?
Cochrane Hose.
Oh.
That's a rapid
They bring in medical
response.
equipment.
And they have equipment that we don't have.
Right. They're basically trained, and Judy can, they're basically trained in first responder, which they can only do certain things on a medical call. They can't transport, they can't push drugs, they can only administer maybe triage. But that's basically it. And then they assess and they wait for an ambulance unit.
I'll tell you what would help us here. I'm just gonna be honest.
If we had an AED
Dig
on
into a dusty pocket, and come up with a freaking AED for your fire department. That's embarrassing.
Mhm.
That's very embarrassing. I would believe that because we're alphabetical in the county, that we are the first and only township that I could find whose fire department does not respond with an AED. And so strictly Cochrane Hose Company, QRP, responds to our township with an AED because quite simply, our fire department doesn't have one.
But that would, would that change this whole dynamic?
Yeah,
You're saying
they
that
could
if we,
respond to cardiac arrest in Aleppo Township, they'd have the same equipment as Cochrane Hose.
Yeah, we start the training,
Do
but
that
every
tonight.
police car in a high functional response area, we also have, correct me if I'm wrong, Sergeant Peck, medical bags. And they will be here before the QRP. And chances are, if we do start our program, your police are gonna be here before we are.
We respond to all medical.
Oh, Ohio
calls.
Township will always be the same.
Yeah, we respond to all medical calls. The township has 7 AEDs, so we have 7 cars out, 7 cars will have an automatic defibrillator. Each guy is CPR trained, first aid trained. We don't have a big a go bag, though, not an in bag for first aid stuff, but we have enough that we can control bleeding and things like that. So we respond to all medical calls.
So if that's the case, if you come with an AED, then why is Cochrane not coming?
Because Valley's responsibility as a medical dispatch is to put the fastest medical personnel on the scene, and their QRP mutual aid, according to Allegheny County, is Cochrane Hose. And so they have to, if their truck, here's the problem, and if their closest truck, for example, if I get chest pain, or I'm gonna get chest pain, there's a fear that I'm gonna go into cardiac arrest, so the next thing there, and I call Valley, and their closest truck is in Findlay, which is possible. Their closest truck is at Findlay's base. then it's Valley's responsibility to put the closest medical personnel in my living room as quickly as possible. And currently, the closest medical personnel that can come to my living room awaiting Valley's arrival happens to be Cochrane Hose. The only place they don't respond is Masonic. And they have responded to Masonic on 2 occasions that were life-threatening stuff. But in general, they don't respond to medical at Masonic.
Bell Acres, because they
They
have
don't
their
go to Bell
own,
Acres because
they
Bell
have their
Acres has
own
their own
trained
certified QRP.
personnel.
They have something like Cochrane Hose does.
So it sounds like if you get your training done, the problem is solved.
Well,
It doesn't become a non-political issue.
Well-
It's,
yeah, would training in an AED eliminate the necessity for Cochrane Hose to be?
If these guys become a licensed QRP, our goal is to not only have Aleppo Township be a licensed BLS QRP, but with MC and I living right next to Davis's fire department, we can actually make it an ALS QRP, which means that I can put drugs and monitors and everything else on the back of his really super duper ATV and get it just about anywhere before Valley can get there. But in the meantime, we have an issue.
Well, it seems that functionally it's working. People come to the right scene at the right time.
Too many.
It seems like there's a personality response later. But in terms of the actual accident and the care of the patient, everything worked well. Am I wrong?
On that one scene, yes.
Okay. And it seems that the police are likely to be the first on the scene even faster than the ambulance or Cochrane with an AED.
Yes, Ohio Township will always beat everyone there.
And then-
Absolutely.
And then it seems as if you're taking steps now to enhance the capabilities of the fire department, which will give us even better service and perhaps eliminate the personality stuff.
Does the fire department have the support of the Board of Commissioners to enhance their service, including the financial support to enhance their service?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I think you need one chief. The worst thing you can have is 5 people telling other people what to do. So we got a good chief. So yes, then I agree, we should investigate what support we need to give the fire department, whether it's an AED or more. That should be our priority, I think.
Yeah.
Because we have a good chief, we need to support him. If there's personality issues, then we have to enhance his capacities so that he doesn't have to worry about that so much. But thank goodness, it seems the personality event occurs after the fact. Oh, he called, he did the right thing, and then they got upset.
Yeah, we need to know what's involved financially.
Yeah.
To do what you want to do.
Can you bring all of that
Yeah.
to the board?
I have one other guy who's on our department. He's more or less our training guy. He sets up all the training. He's gonna help me look into it. Like I said, we started it last year. We were just in the infant stages of just trying to get a class set up. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into as far as money, equipment, stuff
You know,
like
it
that.
doesn't
So that,
make the wheel, I have one.
so, with Judy,
Yeah,
as an asset, we can.
come to us with a proposal.
Yeah, I'd like to see a proposal for the financial support you need. Is that,
And that would be, we're talking about an AED and training on the AED.
Right.
No, that would be
No,
equipping
this
a
is-
QRP vehicle.
This is
That would be a vehicle.
training.
No,
This
he has a vehicle.
We
It would
actually,
be equipping his
Equipping.
vehicle with the
Okay.
equipment required by the county and the state to be licensed as a quick response personnel vehicle for a medical call.
we actually talked last month, our meeting was 2 weeks ago. We talked about, we're gonna look into it. It was possibly we're gonna outfit 2 vehicles. We have our squad, which is a manpower transporter that we have at the station. And also the expedition that I drive is also owned by the fire company. And we would outfit that with the necessary equipment because I'm here during the day. And also you have a gentleman's on your public works who's a firefighter, and he would be also certified in that. So in the event that there was something happen from 7 to 3:30, you have 2 people in the township providing we're not, something's not going on, we were able to respond.
Hmm.
So we talked about actually outfitting both vehicles.
Give us a proposal.
Sure.
Okay.
And just to keep the board at ease, I mean, this is a problem that we've been encountering for 2 years now with the QRP. It does not affect any way, shape, or form professionalism of the fire company. In the event that there's a fire, we've been into their district last year twice. They've come into our district. They're on our run cards, we're on their run cards. If there's a call or, so that all the nonsense and BS is left at the door and everybody responds and to do the job. It's just this particular thing is kind of what sparked it, because I was kind of at my end with one person, not the whole organization.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
Is that responsive to the request?
Huh?
Is that solution, I mean, is that plan responsive to the request?
That's not responsive to what they would like to see happen, but I'll tell them what you said.
Well, again, what would they like to see happen?
Well, they want-
a letter of support.
they want to
They would
support-
just like you to
Oh,
support
holy
them
water.
responding to medical calls in your township, but to tell you the truth, and I'll just put it out there, they've been working around you for a lot of years, and they will just continue to do it.
That does,
That's the way it was put to us when the program's put together. We don't care what you say, we're gonna do it anyway. That's exactly word for word what came out of the meeting we had at Swifty's.
That's true.
But
And the
that, but
county
isn't
and the
that
state
because,
will
I mean,
back
do
them
I
up.
understand it correctly that that's because you have to have a responder that we are not equipped to have?
This is a.
Is that right?
In my opinion, and my opinion only, this is a Valley ambulance issue. If they don't have the vehicles or the units in the area to respond, then they're asking a volunteer fire company to fulfill that need. So if you look and at the meeting, the supervisor did this whole big spiel on how he's cut all these people, he's cut the crew, he's cut the vehicles. Now you're telling me you're cutting all this, but then I listen on the radio and I hear all the time, Northwest Covering Valley, Medic Rescue Covering Valley, all these other entities covering Valley, because you're cutting your staff, you're cutting your people. I mean, at night, he told us that there's only 2 ambulances on at night from, I don't know what time, it's 9 to 7 or something.
9 to 7.
There's only 2 ambulances on to cover Imperial all the way down to the Quaker Valley District.
60 months per month.
So you're having 2 vehicles. We get in an accident on 79 for one issue or another. You have 2 people you got to transport. Where's the other units coming from? We had a gentleman wait 25 minutes for an EMS unit to come because his wife fell and broke her ankle.
quick legal one. Now go back to something Matt said. It sounds to me like we're talking about 2 different things. One, who has jurisdiction legally to respond? And it sounds to me like overall jurisdiction. And it sounds to me, and I'm hearing this tonight for the first time, I have a little bit of experience with the QRP, but in other townships. But it sounds to me like what you're saying is the way this works is that if Valley Ambulance can't cover it with their own QRP, then it rings down, so to speak.
No, it doesn't ring down anywhere. They dispatch
They,
the Quaker
okay, so
Valley.
they
School.
dispatch someone. So they're dispatching.
They are the allocated emergency
Alright.
medical
So the-
provider for Quaker Valley School District.
And the
other
county,
side
and
of
the
it.
county will require somebody to respond,
So will the state.
and so will the state. So it sounds to
And
me
he's right,
like,
they do use mutual aid.
it sounds to me like if that's the law, then we have to abide by that, and we can't tell them not to come if they are mandated by the state and the county to show
Nobody's
up.
asking us to
Wait a
tell them what to do.
All right.
With it.
Now, the second point is on an individual call basis, is Boole as the first responder, or the first person on the scene, is he properly advising them to cancel or not to show up to certain events? And it sounds to me like that's a different question from whether they have general jurisdiction to come in the first place. So I think you have to resolve the first thing first. If there's a perception that they are not being allowed in here at all, then that ought to be clarified. I'm not saying the board should take any kind of vote, but Boole ought to, or somebody, or you, Judy, someone should make it clear to them that we're not, and Boole said it tonight, we're not, as a township, prohibiting them from exercising their authority or from performing their duty. But on a call-by-call basis, there may be instances where they are not being appropriately deployed, and Boole makes that decision on a case-by-case basis.
I will never make a decision on a medical call because
He
one,
doesn't
I'm
have
not
the authority
trained.
on a medical.
I'm not trained.
Okay, so,
But in this
so there,
one instant, I did because it was
Well,
obvious.
but my point is, I don't think the board here
Yeah.
needs to do anything. I think that agency to agency, there ought to be communication that we are not, as a township, prohibiting them from coming in here to respond when they're being deployed by the state or the county. I don't know why that can't be a simple conversation.
We can't
Because
Because
prohibit.
what they
We
want,
can't
We
prohibit.
can't prohibit. So I think, it's fait accompli. I don't think there's anything we have to do.
I tend to
Okay.
agree with that.
what they're looking for is a political
That's
solution
right. That's
to the entire problem. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for they know they can come.
right.
You can't keep them out.
That's right.
But they don't, what they're looking for
They
is
don't
not
want you to
having
tell them once
somebody
they get here,
coming
we don't want
back
them here.
and complaining or saying, why were you here? Or, maybe legitimately, I'm not part of this. That's what this is about. So they're just looking for, they want to be friends. They want to be part of the community. Okay? And I think, Bull, you take the course, you get trained, you get your AED, problem solved. No, there's nothing more to do.
And in the interim,
Get your proposal.
we encourage you to have good relations.
Play nice.
Well, because ultimately, if Aleppo Township becomes a QRP, it will be Valley dispatching them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, it will come from Valley.
Okay.
And maybe you'll be taking calls for Sewickley Heights. I don't know.
We have the contract with.
They already have a contract.
So-
Our contract with Aleppo and also Sophie Heights, it states that we are the fire and rescue
That's right,
companies.
yeah.
We are not the EMS agency. That is provided by Valley. But it's in both of our contracts. So when that does come and we do get certified and trained, we are going to ask that our contracts be changed and reworded to also put us in as,
To put you in as a rapid responder.
Okay, so you were coming back with a proposal.
yes, I will.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I mean, it would be nice if the township would help out, but the fire company's already looking into it. So, as far, any more money would be good, would be appreciated, but I think it's gonna happen with, whether we, receive any funding from the township or not, I think it's gonna go through our department, because a lot of our members are to the point also that it doesn't sit well, just not me, just not the fire chief. There's 32 people on that roster, I can tell you they feel the exact same way.
Okay,
Okay,
can we move on?
anything else on that? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Paul.
Communications.
I'll save my report for when we talk about the accident in the ridge. The only one thing I wanted to say is that with the recording, we've had some problems with both commissioners and audience members talking when somebody else is talking. So I would just remind people at this table and people in the audience that it's not just your neighbors here that you're talking on top of, it's people that are trying to listen at home. So if you could try to have one person talking at a time, that would make things all the much easier. Thank you.
Did it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Accept that report. Planning and zoning, any report?
No report outside of the motions needed.
So I have a motion to appoint Tom Arbogast to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2018.
I'll second that.
And I would like to add that I know Tom Arbogast personally, and I couldn't think more highly of somebody to be on any of our commissions.
Agreed. Any further discussion? All in favor of that appointment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to appoint Ronald Barber to the zoning hearing board for a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2017.
I second that motion. Or do you want me to present it?
You're making the motion.
I make that motion to appoint Ronald.
I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Tax collector.
You finished December with earned income taxes of $23,245.65. Nothing in the business privilege tax for the month of December. Local service tax, $2,113.13. Property tax, $408.17.
Wow.
Real estate, delinquent real estate taxes, $786.28. And the realty transfer tax of $6,175.22 for a total of $32,728.45. And as an aside, the realty transfer tax has a big bump for January.
Sweet.
Thank you.